Every once in a while, you're going to have one of those days where there's just no answer. No answer to the question why. No answer to the question how long. You're not going to have a response, and it's going to make you feel abandoned by God. And that is part of life. That's part of this walk in Christ. There are going to be answerless questions. There are going to be moments where doors just close and you don't know why, and people misunderstand and you feel guilty, but you know that you didn't mean it and you don't know what to do to fix it. There are going to be days where people who love you and who you love just treat you like they've stopped. There's going to be a time where you just don't know what to do, where everything just falls apart. And during those times, I just want you to know He hasn't forgotten. I've been through a lot of those, tons of them, and they just keep coming. It's like, you know, when you overcome something and you're like, whew, that's done. No, it's not. It's still going. It's still going. It's still happening. Oh, and the moments like that seem to multiply. There's just more and more and more of them coming at you. And the more you overcome, the more you'll have to overcome. You know how they say new levels, new devils? That just means the more you do in Christ, the more you experience in Christ, the more you overcome in Christ, the more you're going to have to face. Just because that's how life is. You build up muscles to use them. You didn't use all those muscles to learn how to walk, only to just barely toddle through life for the rest of your life. Then you had to learn to run. Then you had to learn to jump. Then you had to learn to sit around and watch Netflix. Sorry guys, that was too funny. But seriously, you have to take it to the next level every time. So if you learned a skill and you can overcome something, now you have to use that skill and that ability to overcome in the next battle. Okay? So you learned how to take a punch from the left. Now you've got to learn how to take a punch from the left and the right. So you learned how to take a punch from the left and the right, block those, and now you learned how to block a kick. All while trying to hit back. Okay? After a while, there's going to be more. Eventually, in karate class or whatever, you eventually get to the level where you get to use weapons. Maybe sticks, I don't know, I'm not into that. But I've seen it. I've seen that the higher level people use some kind of stick, some kind of baton, nunchucks, or whatever they use. We have to be that way. We have to be willing to take the battle to the next level and stop quitting just because it's hard. Stop getting discouraged just because we don't have an answer from God. Stop believing that we're abandoned when we know that He would never leave us nor forsake us. He's promised it in His word. He's not going to lie. Why is He suddenly going to decide that after centuries and, millennia of being faithful, He's going to choose you to be faithless to? Because maybe you're the one person on earth He created who's not worth it. No, He's got you. He has got you. He has got you. He has got you. He has got you. You are going to make it. You are going to get through this. And you need to stop letting Him discourage you. Not Him, God, but Him, that person, that thought, even that you in your head. Because sometimes we get in our own heads and convince ourselves, yeah, I've looked at you in the mirror naked. You're really not worth it. I've seen you on your bad days. I've watched the way you tore somebody a new one for nothing. You just decided to lose your mind and have a fit. I know all your weak points. I know everywhere you failed and fallen. And I deem you not worthy. Are you big enough? Are you strong enough? Is anyone's opinion really going to override the God of the universe, who chose you, who made you, who loves you, who walks you through this life every step of the way? It's enough. Time has passed. Enough time has passed that you have to know better by now. You have to know better by now. I don't care if you got saved this morning. Know better by now. You're going to have moments where you feel abandoned. You're going to have moments where God doesn't answer you. You're going to have moments where everyone turns against you. You're going to have moments where godly people are going to tell you that you are not spiritual enough. Great people with vision and authority and worthy of all respect are going to tell you they don't see fruit in your life. They're going to tell you they don't see any change in you. And you're going to have to say, you know what? This is one of those moments Stephanie told me about. This is that moment. Sure. It's time for introspection. Take the time to look and see what they might be talking about, what you need to change. But don't let you, for a moment, dare to believe that that means you are unacceptable to God or He has quit wanting you. God never stops wanting you. God never stops loving you. He never stops keeping you in the palm of His hand. He adores you. You don't get to choose to pull yourself out of His hand. You don't get to choose to disconnect from the Lord of the universe, who has chosen you to be His child. Enough is enough. Let's stop letting the devil dominate us. You are precious. You are special. You are loved. There is nothing you can do to change that. There is nothing you can do to change that. So have you been far from God? Have you messed up so royally that you honestly think it's way past the point of no return? Return anyway. Come back anyway. Are you fine? Were you sure you were spiritually fine until somebody came along and told you that you weren't? Run to Him. Tell Him, Daddy, they kicked me in the face. I don't understand what's going on. Help me. And when you don't get an answer, hang on for dear life. If you come back to Him and you don't feel His presence, if you come back to Him and you feel rejected by everyone, including God, hang on for dear life. Don't leave Him. Don't leave Him. No matter what you see, no matter what you feel, no matter what you experience, your body is not in charge. Your emotions are not in charge. Your feelings and what you perceive is not in charge. Hang on for dear life. Don't let go. God has got you. He will get you through. Hang on. This has been another day that God has made. Another morning where I had to face down some trouble. And I am not hearing an answer. And I am not seeing the way out. And I don't know what God's going to do. But I'm hanging on. And so can you.